So today we are going to see how we are going to set up the ecosystem for the development so that we don't miss on any of the code that we have written. Okay, so we are going to use something called as Azure DevOps. Okay, so why Azure DevOps is because it's a feature packed tool, and it's a highly costly tool as well if you're going for the license. But somebody who is learning and trying to explore, for them it is free. Okay, you can have multiple repositories and you can maintain them over a period of time. Okay, so this is the landing page of Azure DevOps. Okay, so once you're logged in to Microsoft Azure DevOps, the first thing that you need to do is create a organization. Okay, so how to create an organization? You can click on new organization. Okay, you can click on continue, then you can give the name of your organization, and then you can enter the captcha and click on continue. So once you do that, you will end up creating, like my private project and my public project. I have created two organizations. So these are two organizations. So what is an organization? Organization is a collection of projects. My private project organization is having these many projects. Okay. So if you want to create a project, you have to hit on new project right here. Okay. Once you click on that, you have to give the name of the project, the description of the project, and whether it is public. So if it is public, it will be accessible to everyone without any authentication. So if you share the URL, or if somebody gets to know about the URL for your project, he can access it. If it is private, as the name suggests, nobody will be able to access it. So let's create a project, dummy project for now. Okay, I'll give the name as dummy. Now in the advanced section, there are two important things. One is version control. So for those who already know, there are different version control tools. Now, what is version control? Version control is a tool that helps you to maintain different versions of your application, or basically the source code. So you can maintain different version of your source code that you're writing. So for example, today, if I have created a calculator, tomorrow I can enhance it to a next level. But in the process of doing so, if I made a mistake, I will also have the ability to revert back to the previous state of my application. That is the advantage of version control. Every commit, every changes that you're making is tracked in depth, in detail, so that you can move ahead with the code or revert back to a previous version without rewriting and without retyping those code again. Okay. So this is Git, one of the famous. So you can either use Git, or there is a Microsoft default version control system, which is Team Foundation Version Control, TFVC. Okay. Now there is something called as work item process. Now work item process is basically the process that a company follows. Nowadays, the famous process that companies are following is Agile. Okay. So there are different processes here. Agile is one of them. Scrum is another. CMMI is another. And Basic is one. Now, why it is important is because there are different process. Each process comes with certain work item. So for Basic, you can create a epic. Each epic can have multiple issues, and each issue can have multiple tasks. For Agile, I can create a epic which can contain a feature, which can contain user stories, and each user story can have task or a bug, which can again have a task. And there is a separate section for issues. Okay, here everything is an issue. Here mostly the user story is the important part. In Scrum, there is another new category called as product backlog, which is equivalent to user story. And similarly here it is called as requirement. Okay, so these are the different options that you get when you select a process. Let's go with Agile. Okay, let's hit on create. Now this is a public project. Dummy is the name, dummy is the description. It's a Git project, it's an Agile project. Let's hit on create. So it is trying to create a project, and it was able to successfully create a project.